I grew up in a place called Brisbane. Back then, people liked to call it a big country town. To be honest, probably was. Over time, I've seen it go through many changes, some for the better. But watching that place turn from a town into a city, well, that also comes with a few chapters of sadness and disappointment. We've lost too much of our history and our heritage. Too many of our landmarks have all of a sudden disappeared in the landscape. More importantly though, those landmarks fostered a spirit and pride in its people. Now, looking back on the Brisbane that once was, I can't help but think that we've lost something we once held very dear. Cloudland. I heard so many stories about the legend of Cloudland's dance hall days. A grand old stage, sprung floor, boy meets girl, endless memories. But I knew it in a different sense. Long before Triple J, Triple Z was Brisbane's only alternative music station, and Cloudland played host to the local independent music scene. Even in its rundown state, it had to be a treasure worth preserving. Cloudland, it deserved the chance of a future in this city. Festival Hall. First came onto my radar as a boxing venue. Well, I was too young to go, of course, but my dad would tell me about the stories of the nights at the fights when people would throw coins into the ring for a winning boxer they thought deserved a little bit extra. And what about the concerts? So many great live acts over the years. There was true theatre. The energy, the emotion, the colour. And more than that, it was a snapshot of Brisbane's personality. You know, my mum saw the Beatles there back in 1964. I saw so many wonderful bands as well. And so much character. You almost smell it. You know, for all the memorable acts that were billed as coming soon, there were just as many that we never saw. They won't be coming. It's gone. And that's a little bit sad. At the very least, I think we'll regret the passing of Festival Hall for that reason. The Paddington tram depot mysteriously burnt down in the middle of the night to make way for the buses. And the Bellevue Hotel, one of this country's oldest buildings, demolished in the early hours of the morning while we were sleeping. We're about to lose another piece of our history, the Regent. I'm standing outside it now on the day that cinema doors were officially closed. We'll have photographs, memories, stories handed down. They call it progress. It's bloody criminal if you ask me. And just to rub it in, a facade by its very definition, a permanent and pretentious reminder of our loss. You know, the sad thing about it is that once it's gone, we're not going to get it back. What about some of the other places and people that have gone? The ones that we've forgotten? How many of us remember a place called the Paris Cafe, or a poet known as the Brisbane Bard? Well, I'm not the Brisbane Bard, but I can tell you this story certainly is a very personal one for me, and I'm determined to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, I used to stand right there apparently, just up from the shingle end. Now I'm told in the late 50s it was the place to be, sort of like the heart and soul of the Brisbane social scene. But, well, it was knocked down long before I was born. Now, I don't know too much about the Paris. It wasn't really spoken about all that much in my family. We've got the odd photograph, stories handed around. Sometimes the fact gets tangled up with the fiction. I can say this though, it's gone now, like another Brisbane landmark lost in time, only, well, it's more sadly missed by my family.
But Paris was such a real cool spot.
It was so beautiful, it was so romantic. The music, the beautiful ballroom. It really was, it was gorgeous. And all those young couples out having fun, some looking for love, if they were lucky.
Of course, other people would remember it different to me.
So you didn't know about the Nights at the Paris?
Yes. Of course I knew. We're open every Friday and Saturday nights.
We had the 6 o'clock swill in Brisbane in those days, no alcohol after 6 o'clock at night. But I think something used to go wrong with that law about the Paris because the coffee seemed to be a bit strong at times.
You found a way to get around it?
Well, they tell me you'd go and ask for a cup of cough mixture. It was, I think it was the black coffee with a